Donald Trump is a coke fiend with his finger on the button.
The U.S. president is Putin, his money where his mouth is.
And a church for atheists? Coming up today on The Point. Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens.
From down here, it always looks like you're trying to pick up that camera. You got this welcome to the
Point.
You're trying to
I make love to the camera.
Yeah.
Right. Well, speaking of making love, I have no idea where that's going, but we have two guests with us today. First, as you may know, Matt Raffi is off doing a show, and so we have Tegan Reamsbottom here with us.
Thank you for having me back.
Mr. Reamsbottom.
Tegan, and Tegan, the last time you were on as our guest co-host, but you're actually going to sit in with us for the rest of the season while Matt's away, right?
I'm kind of like the Joan Rivers to his Johnny Carson.
Ooh, he's not going to like that.
Well, no, because she was the guest. She was the villain.
I get
but
that.
she was better.
But we don't hate each other. She was bitter? Well, she was, but...
In the end,
Right.
she was, yes.
Anyways, I thought it was a good reference.
But
that was a great reference.
You're interesting, though, because your podcast, Ish Talk, is being rebranded.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
And what is the new name of the podcast?
It is the Reamsbottom position. My last name is Reamsbottom. I thought it was clever.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I was saying to you before, embrace your last name.
Yeah.
This way, you are the butt of your own joke.
Love it. Yeah.
Well done, sir. Well done.
We also have with us a very special guest today from the group called Toronto Oasis. We have Julia Thayer. And welcome, Julia.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Now, Toronto Oasis is a chapter of an international organization called the Oasis Network, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Now, the reason why we wanted to have you here today is because I've heard this organization described as a church for atheists. Because you meet on Sundays and you have sort of...
Isn't that an oxymoron, kind of?
Well, this is
there is no such thing as a church for atheists. Like, that can't...
Yeah.
Those things can't exist.
Well,
in the same thing, 'cause that's the whole point
let's
of it,
hear it from the expert.
Please elaborate on this.
Yes, what is Oasis, and is it a church for atheists?
So it's not a church for atheists. It is an oxymoron. But it's a community, it's a secular community where people can come together. And that includes atheists, agnostics, theists, questioning theists. Everyone can come together. The point is that it's a secular community that gathers around common humanistic values.
So it's just like a community group. Like, it has nothing to do with religion or non-religion. It's just people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's
Cool.
just people coming together.
That I can get behind.
Okay.
I like that.
So, but at least the Toronto organization, it kind of grew out of, I mean, the little bit of the history that I read in the news and stuff, it kind of grew from an atheist preacher?
In a way, yes. So Greta Vosper, she is with West Hill United Church, and several years ago, they made the transition from being a united church to being a secular community. And so they uphold the values of the Oasis Network and joined the Oasis Network as well. But Greta herself didn't identify as atheist until a few years ago when she heard about the struggle of Bangladeshi bloggers and authors, atheist authors who were being killed for writing about their beliefs and writing about their values of having a secular government. So she decided to use the term atheist in solidarity with them. Yeah.
So when you gather, it's not church-like. Like, are there hymns?
No, we do like a good sing-along, but no, there's no hymns. There are some weekly rituals that we like to have. For instance, we have ribbons that we encourage people to leave behind with their intentions, either what they're taking away from the gathering, something that they learned, or their intention going forward into the week, maybe something that the discussion sparked in them that they want to be mindful of during the week, and they tie it to sort of a larger string, and it just shows that we are in community together.
So I've heard people say that they're not religious, but they're spiritual. Mm-hmm. Is Oasis a spiritual organization?
No, it's not. So it is very much secular, and we welcome everyone. So if you identify as spiritual, you're still welcome because the discussions that we're having aren't based around any sort of dogma or religion or spirituality. It's simply...
What kind of conversations are you having? Like, what happens?
Well, we have a guest speaker every week, and that's followed by small group discussions.
So it's kind of like a sermon or something, right? When you have someone speaking,
In a way, yeah, you can sort of draw parallels to that.
I feel like you're trying to force this religious thing into
no,
a way that
I'm
it doesn't
not-
really
I'm
exist.
not-
Because there are, like, you wouldn't go to a conference for business and say, oh, well, the keynote speaker, it's a sermon and this is the congregation. Like, no, it's a place where there's people and they're talking about things.
No, I'm
but
not. I'm
they're
not trying to force it. I'm trying to reconcile how it's been described in the media and why people
Probably
would get that impression.
Because that's how, like, our society is. Everything has to be connected to Christianity and to religion because it's just all sort of built on that foundation, whether you believe it or not. So people are saying, this is what I'm taking from this anyway. I can't speak for your organization, but, you know, like, it's an atheist church. Like, there is no such thing as an atheist church, but people know what churches are because there's so much religion and so much whatever that they need to find some sort of parallel or snappy way of saying it.
Well, but also, how many people go to church and don't really believe the dogma? They do it because it's part of their culture, it's part of their ritual.
Or because
Well,
their
that's
parents
another
made them.
conversation.
Or because their parents made them. Anyway, you were asked what kind of discussions you have.
Yeah, so it's really varied. We've had the honor of having so many wonderful guest speakers, everything from talking about sex to Socratic method to relationships and trust. We have someone coming in from the Toronto Tool Library, Lawrence Alvarez, talking about the sharing economy. It's really amazing. It ranges from very sort of almost scientific and reason-based to sometimes more heart-centered, talking about relationships and family and things like that.
How did the organization start, like, internationally? I mean, I know it's relatively recent here, where we shoot the show, but it started where?
Started in Houston. So a man named Mike Oss, he was a former pastor, and he realized that he wanted community. So he didn't believe in the dogma that came with church and religion, but he believed in the community that comes with religion. So he decided to start a community in Houston, and it's spread to over 10 communities now.
And why the name Oasis?
Because it's an oasis for free thinkers. That was the origin of the name. Yeah.
Cool. Now, how do you identify? Are you an atheist?
I'm not an atheist. I would say I'm more humanist.
Hey.
So what is what is humanist? Humanist versus atheist versus agnostic?
Yeah, that's a great question. I find a lot of those terms are used interchangeably.
Or a secularist?
Yeah, so secular is simply the idea of removing religion. So it's not saying that you identify with a certain religion so you can't participate, but it's the idea of removing religion from that area so you can have secular society where religion isn't part of the government.
But it's still like faith-based, I guess, but you don't take part in any religion? Is that how that works, or?
No, I would describe secular more so religions being able to coexist because you don't have to choose one religion that sort of is a part of every single facet of life.
It's like the ideal of what we want governments to be, so that you can come in and say, here is a healthcare plan for all people because we're all human beings, regardless of whether you're a Jehovah's Witness and you think kids should die rather than get blood transfusions. That's not part of policy. That has nothing to do with it. That's your own stupid belief.
So
let's just worry about humans, taking care of humans.
So then what is humanism?
Yeah, so humanism is putting the value on humans and human connection and the power that comes from humans as individuals and humans in community. So it's very human focused, very people focused.
Like Superman.
Yeah.
I feel like Superman's a humanist.
What?
Believes in the good of humanity.
Do you ever get any like religious people crashing and like just being
Oh, hey, Jesus!
yeah, like Jesus freaks crashing it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Coming throwing crucifixes everywhere.
Spray you with holy
They're
water.
Not, they're not vampires. It's like
But people like to protest, so you know.
It's true.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's interesting, and you mentioned actually how Greta Vosper kind of came to claim the atheist title, and there was actually a political element to it, and of course, religion is used, and we've talked about it on the show how religion can be used in politics, and in fact, you know, the new guy. Just signed. No, not that new guy. You know, said that new guy. He signed another executive order, which basically means nothing, but it's to promote religious liberty and freedom. I just coming from a humanist perspective, how do you see the way religion is used in the political sphere?
Yeah, I think it's to everyone's detriment to have people's religious beliefs brought into decisions coming from government for the good of the people. Like you say, those decisions and those policies should be coming from a human focus. What is for the good of society and for people. Yeah.
You can't,
Yeah, because I mean, there's competing religions that have competing viewpoints, and you can't reconcile all of that together in policy. Like you have to just say, look, this is for people, and if you don't choose to participate yourself because of religious beliefs or whatever, that's fine. But I mean, we can't craft policy that affects other people. You're beside me. I'm going to keep gesturing to you as other people and the new guy, you know, with government policy and things.
I think this is amazing what you're doing. It's no matter what background you come from, there's kind of like truth with a capital T, kindness, and I think it's so important that we kind of get back to that and discovering what links us all together and not what makes us different.
We actually didn't. Let me go back to this question. What's the difference between atheist and agnostic?
So atheists believe that there is no God, whereas agnostics, they don't know whether there's a God. So it's sort of the difference
Who
between
does know?
believing or
Seriously,
knowing.
who does know?
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody really know?
Well, there, you're agnostic.
No, seriously.
I
Donald
know,
Trump
and
knows.
God's name is Barbara Streisand, and that's all I'm saying on that. Sorry.
Do you know who that is
Talks
now?
about
I mean, if you
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because if you can believe that there is God, you can have faith that there is God, but you really don't know, right? I mean, so isn't everybody
Let's crack this
agnostic?
right now, everybody. Let's figure out all religion and God right
if
now.
I
I
can
thought
jump
we
in-
weren't supposed to like talk about like politics or religion or anything like that in like a group of people.
No, on a first date. That's on a
isn't
first
that- oh,
date.
okay.
You're not
Yeah,
supposed
it's like a golden
different-
rule.
yeah.
I guess our show is completely over then.
Anyway,
what's
Well, there's a lot of people have a different definition of what God is. There's like in Christianity, there's kind of like that a big man in the clouds, but there's also like God is just energy. It's love. It's the thing
the
that connects all of us.
universe.
So
Yes.
there's no. It's not a man in the clouds. It's just a thing.
but
that
it's
connects everybody.
what you believe it to be. You don't
Exactly.
actually know. This is my.
But that's the problem, right? Is that there's so many religions and things that tell you that this is what this all-powerful being is, whatever it happens to be, and you're not allowed to think about it or believe any different or feel anything else. It's got to just be that one thing, and you have to then make everyone else think that same
Right.
thing.
I mean, he asked about crashing the party, but is there any anti-religion sentiment from humanists or atheists or? I mean, it's easy. I mean, it's sort of easy to say, like we were making fun of, you know, the God in the sky, right? And yet at the same time, we have sympathy for religious minorities that are persecuted in certain nations. So how do you reconcile, like, is there support for people who are religious amongst the agnostic or humanist community?
It depends which communities you're in. Again, agnostic is, you know, we don't know whether or not there's a God. Whereas atheists say, you know, I don't believe there is a God. So it tends to be more us versus them. But that's why communities like Oasis are so important, because one of our core values, there's 5 values that we live by and that we gather around, and one of them is people are more important than beliefs. So it doesn't matter what you believe, it doesn't matter the God you believe in, whether you believe there isn't a God, people are the most important thing.
I think that's a part of atheism
Preach.
too, though. Like
Yeah.
that idea, that
Amen to
idea
that.
of like agnostics thinking maybe there's a God, maybe there's not, and atheists saying it doesn't matter anyway. Let's focus on people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's we say there's not, but like let's not even waste time on that. Let's focus on the real problems and things that are happening in the world.
And actually, the website for the international organization is
Peoplearemoreimportant.org.
which is a great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And if people are interested in the international organization, they can go there. In terms of the Toronto organization, your website is.
TorontoOasis.org.
And is there a website if people want to email the organization with questions or
Yeah, our email is 416oasis@gmail.com.
the 6?
Do we want
The
to?
6.
You want to
416.
clarify what comes up if people Google Toronto Oasis, right? That you're.
Do we want to? Okay.
What comes up?
Because that was the first thing that I thought about before I
Are you
looked
being
into
serious right
this.
I'm being dead serious. I'm pretty new to the city still.
The Aqua Lounge?
Okay.
What's that?
So
I don't even know this.
So
It's
I
sex
can't believe.
club.
Okay, I guess we're mentioning this. So in Toronto, there is a sex club, a straight sex club called the Oasis Aqua Lounge.
Oh my God,
So if
I
you
didn't know
Google Toronto Oasis,
Which I did when researching this segment.
you will actually find that
It will come up
establishment
first, yeah.
first before you find TorontoOasis.org.
Yeah.
So
We
if
just
they
want the
are
traffic
not-
going to your website. We want you
She's
to get
not
the
running a
traffic.
sex
That's
club,
all.
so that everybody knows.
Hey, who knows? We don't know what happens. That could be
I
a
need-
topic sometime.
Okay,
I don't know.
yeah.
I need to take this off because I had no idea this was even a thing that existed, like a sex club. So I don't even know what that is. That's interesting to me.
What a sex club is?
Yeah.
Like a swingers club kind of thing.
So what? People just like show up and.
Okay, this is a topic
Grease
for another
up?
day.
Okay.
Thank you, Julia, for joining us today. Julia Thayer from Toronto Oasis. And now it's time for Tito's Midpoint.
Okay, so this week we're playing On Point. It's going to be fashion from the Met Gala. And I just need to say that the theme this year is Comme des Garçons. So that's a fashion house in Tokyo.
Like a boy?
So, yes, it's actually called Like Boys, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the fashion for this fashion house is all over the top craziness. So if you see something you don't like, it's because that's the theme. So just simmer down on your...
The theme
Shame.
is crap that you don't like.
No, it's just some people are like over the top and it's very fashion. Fashion.
Haute couture?
Anyway, yes.
Ugh, I'm
We're
gonna hate all
starting.
of this.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
So, yeah, so you guys vote if you think
Yes.
it's on point
On
or
point
off.
or off point?
So first we have Blake Lively.
I just love Blake Lively.
Oh, I
I
like
love
that.
her,
I
and
like
I like that.
Always.
Blake's
She's,
on point.
she's wearing Versace.
100%.
All day,
great.
every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those
she's on
blue
point.
feathers on the... ugh.
Yeah.
When I
think that
saw
looks
those
really
blue
good.
feathers-
She's just stunning all the time.
100% agree.
All the time.
And her hubby,
Oh,
married, right?
Brian Reynolds,
He
yeah.
had a blue tie that matched it. It was so cute.
Oh, that's cute. No,
They
that's
are
very...
actually probably the cutest couple. In
Yeah,
all
they're
of
the
Hollywood,
hottest
yeah.
for sure. Next we have Zoe Kravitz wearing Oscar de la Renta.
Yeah.
I
That's a huge...
I would say-
Without the
no.
extension, maybe.
I think she looks good.
Actually, I think she looks good.
She looks great.
With the Annie Lennox haircut.
yeah.
She looks great.
Yes.
The rest
Yeah.
of her does not.
So on.
Yes, I say on. I actually like that.
Next we have Priyanka Chopra
Who I love.
wearing Ralph Lauren.
I'm into
Yes.
that.
I'll give you that.
That's like that right there is
Have
like
you
a
ever
fantasy
seen
for
a
me. If
coat with a
somebody
train
opens
that
the door
That's
and just
amazing.
wears
It's like
that.
it's like a sexy Inspector Gadget. Like,
Yeah.
And she
Is that a
walks
fantasy
the-
though? If a girl shows up with like that, something like that at your
I mean,
doorstep?
yeah, that's the whole thing.
She looks good.
She walked the carpet with Nick Jonas. And he looked really hot too.
That's also
Now,
a fantasy.
are she and Nick Jonas?
No, I don't think so.
Gordon, what was your vote?
Oh, yes, let's do it quick.
Very on point.
That train was so long. It was so good. Next we have Solange wearing Thom Brown.
Wait, what?
No.
She's
Yes.
wearing my grandmother's overcoat.
She's
no.
wearing a sleeping bag.
No. No.
That's so
Just
funny.
remember the theme.
Capital
Great.
G.
That's so funny.
No, I
Gross.
understand the theme, and the others were over the top, but really lovely.
Isn't that like circa 1999?
She looks like a shoplifter.
I've
She's
legit
wearing
seen,
a couple sleeping bags. Is what I
I've
feel
legit
like.
seen crazy homeless people who look more together.
No, she looks sick. She looks
You-
sick.
you
She
like
looks sick.
it?
She looks sick.
Nice.
No, actually, she looks sick. She looks like she should, like she's gone mental.
Oh, check out her shoes though. They're like skates.
Oh, it just gets worse.
Revoting
It just gets worse.
and also saying no again.
They're
Okay.
so
yeah,
cool.
no.
All right, what else we got?
Next we have Rita Ora wearing custom Marquesa.
I like that.
I'm into that.
She had like a custom.
See, yeah, that's like fancy and like a
her
gift.
headpiece took, I think,
Just for that
couple
hair.
days.
Yeah.
Is
it
that
was
not
like
the same
That looks
girl
good.
from before?
she looks like a present wrapped in a bow. Like she just looks like a gift.
Yeah, she looks
A
good.
gift to humanity.
She is a gift.
She is. Next we have Bella Hadid
Oh,
wearing Alexander Wang bodysuit. It's so hot.
no.
Hold on, let's.
And the shoes.
This reminds me of Catwoman.
No.
It's just like
I
it.
love
You
Catwoman.
don't like it?
Can I like? What's my camera? This is like a half on.
No,
half
it
off
looks
vote.
like she put on her underwear,
Yeah,
her
it's
undergarment,
like-
and forgot the rest.
It
back-
kind of does
The
look like
back
that,
is
but it's also
open. It
kind
goes
of
all the
okay.
way down to her ass.
No.
It doesn't.
Then
really-
yes.
It
You don't
doesn't
Oh,
flatter
okay,
her
then maybe
body.
that would.
think
Do you
it's
have
great.
that angle?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's gonna be a.
She looks like
Really?
she's gonna
no.
sexually
But,
rob
Like
a
it
bank
even
or
goes
something,
over her
which I'm
shoes.
into.
It's so cool. I love it. I'm obviously on all of them.
I'm on.
Next we have the other Hadid sister, Gigi, wearing Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, much nicer. Much nicer.
Oh yeah.
Did you say really?
Yeah.
Also, legit. Other than
I
She's
just
just
mind
hot.
that.
She's
Yeah, it looks
hot.
nice. She looks pretty.
Her
other
face
than
is
Blake
I
great.
just-
Lively,
don't like
I
the-
don't know who any of these people
I don't
are.
know.
I've
I know, I
never
feel
heard
very
of
old
any
right
of
now.
I
them.
don't like the black legging that you can
I do.
see.
I actually do.
But if you're doing that color with black, it just doesn't.
Oh, I like it. No, I like it.
Gordon, what are you?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, I feel like what we're doing is just saying hot girls look hot. I mean, you know.
Boy, it's about the dresses.
All these women are beautiful. We're talking about the dresses.
Next, we have one of
not
my
garbage.
personal favorites. When I
Good
saw
word,
this,
garbage.
I died. It's
Literally?
Kendall Jenner wearing La Perla.
That is
No.
off point.
It
No.
was so good.
No.
Yeah,
She does,
yeah.
she does too much. You either too
I'm
much
just
leg
biased 'cause
and
she's a
yeah,
Kardashian.
You should
cut
see the
one
back.
She's somewhat. It's like Zorro slashed her with a sword
Yes.
before
Yes, it
she
looks-
showed up on the red
It looks
carpet.
a lot better on camera. The picture doesn't do it
Why is
justice.
that?
What's this then? This is not on camera.
I mean, a picture compared to like live video. Anyway, she was wearing like if you saw the back, like you could. It was her ass was fully out.
And she's a Kardashian, so just move on.
She's a Jenner.
A Jenner, whatever.
Just like
same
her
thing.
sister Kylie wearing Versace.
No.
Versace.
Yeah.
Versace?
She walked the red carpet with Donatella. Donatella made her dye her hair
I
blonde.
just hate her.
It's too.
in general.
I don't like the
too
family.
I think she's the
transparent.
worst person in the
Like, if
entire
there was-
world.
It
like-
looks like a shell art shower curtain you would buy at a gift shop on the coast of Maine.
Brilliant. I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. What's up?
Specific.
You guys are.
Oh, Gordon's on.
Gordific? Is that what you said?
I said specific.
I
Seashells.
thought you were
on the
making up a new
poster.
word.
I like
No, I would never.
Gordorific.
Off on
I'm
Kylie.
off.
Off.
The hair looks lovely though. I'll give
Yeah, I'll give the
I
hair,
like to see
but-
something kind. Whatever, buddy.
What was happening there? Okay, last one.
Oh.
Wearing actual Comme des Garçons, like from the actual fashion label. Winner of the night, Rihanna.
I can't.
Oh
hard
my
enough.
God. That is a
It's
mess.
ridiculous.
What?
Bad.
That
Remember the theme.
No, I know that.
It
I
doesn't
like the
just
other
be-
ones.
Yes, the theme is garbage, looking awful. That's what you explained at the start of this. It's supposed to look
She
terrible.
looks like
so
you
she,
know what?
She
okay,
wins that.
That's
At the-
offensive,
Okay,
yes.
so like at the end of a big party, like a political convention, they have all the confetti and the balloons that fall on the
It's
floor.
stuck to
It
her.
looks like
Yeah.
yes, she
was
put
tarred.
glue
It
all
looks
over
like a
herself
piece of art.
and rolled all over the floor
Yeah.
and picked up all the
Those
confetti.
look like ping pong paddles. Like all over her.
I'm
Her
disappointed
makeup
that
even matches. Like it's just perfect.
I felt like the real winner of the Met Gala was Celine Dion when she pretended to answer her shoe because she thought it was funny.
Answer her shoe.
Yeah, she like picked
I'm
up her
voting
shoe
on
and
point
pretended it
for
was a
shoe
phone.
phones.
Did she think it was Renee?
She wore
Too soon.
no.
would
She
you
wore a
do
shirt
that?
when she was getting off the
Ew.
plane for the Met Gala. She wrote a shirt that said Renee did it first, and I was like, no shit, you were 14. Sorry, is that too much?
And thank you, Tito, for today's midpoint.
Shots.
Delightful.
All right.
And that brings us to talking point number 2, Putin's cock holster. Now that is a quote from Stephen Colbert. So
What a great
That
Last
homophobic
week-
remark.
last week, Colbert just had enough, Stephen Colbert had enough with Trump, and in his monologue, he really went after Trump. He said, Trump attracts more skinheads than free Rogaine. You have more people marching against you than cancer. You talk like a sign language gorilla that got hit in the head. In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's cock holster. Woo! Now, I watched that and I thought
so
that
good.
was
That
amazing.
was great.
Cue social media. It was homophobic. Stephen Colbert is a homophobe.
Wow.
Hashtag fire Colbert.
Wow.
So the question is, was that joke homophobic?
No.
No.
It was a joke.
Not at
I didn't
all.
think it was. Everything was funny up to that joke, but I didn't think it was homophobic. I think people are just too damn sensitive
Yeah.
these days.
Well, they're trying to find offense in
People are
something.
looking for a
because
reason to
you
be offended.
could
Of course.
find offense if there was offense intended. If there was a slant on the joke about there being something wrong with oral sex between same-sex people, but there isn't, and he didn't have that slant or that angle to it, and therefore it is not offensive, and it's not a homophobic joke.
Well, what I found interesting about the hashtag campaign was that it actually came from both sides.
What do you mean?
Spit roasting.
Spit roasting, yes, no. It was the far left who said that joke was homophobic and he should be fired for the homophobic joke. But it also came from the far right who were just using it to get back at Colbert for being so anti-Trump.
I mean, as a quick side note, I think the fact, like, thinking that that's homophobic is kind of homophobic, frankly. Like, trying
I
to
agree
find
with
offense
you.
in that is sort of like, wait, why do you think that there's a problem here? Why do you think that this is wrong and that this is offensive? That's kind of offensive in itself.
I like your point.
Yeah, your point. Speaking of the new guy,
Isn't there an investigation going on? Isn't Trump investigating what he said on air? He's putting like
he's investigating Colbert?
or something like that, or putting out
Oh yeah. I just saw that on
Yeah.
Twitter this morning.
It's because he's desperately trying to shift focus away from himself to
Why can't you
anything
focus
that he
on the
possibly
actual
could.
problem?
because he's a horrible president and a person.
I don't understand.
Hence the reason he went to war.
So,
But why does he publicly admit to doing stupid shit like going after other celebrities?
Because he's
saying
not
stuff?
smart enough to understand what he's doing. He doesn't get it. He doesn't
No
understand
one is that
it.
stupid.
okay, so
Yeah, they are. There's a lot of people that are that
they
stupid.
pushed
One of them's
through
running
in
the free
House
world.
their version of healthcare reform, which people are calling the zombie Trump care bill. Now,
I love it.
yeah,
Zombies aren't covered, though. That's a
No,
pre-existing
that's a pre-existing condition, being undead. It still has to pass the House. It's not going to. It's an awful piece of legislation. He has a beer party in the Rose Garden with members of the House to celebrate mission accomplished on the healthcare bill that will throw 24 million people off of healthcare, and yet he stands up during this party and at the mic says we're going to cover everybody, people's deductions, people's costs are going to go down. We're going to the bill. He hasn't even read his own bill. Okay.
Most people haven't.
Did you see when they were trying to ask if anybody actually read the bill, and they all just
Yeah,
like
the-
10
yeah,
people just
no.
like booked it by the reporters?
Yeah.
It was brutal.
So it turns out also that Donald Trump has there's all this worry about him having the nuclear codes, and actually he's appointed Rick Perry, the guy who was on Dancing with the Stars.
What?
And maybe we even have a clip of him on Dancing with the Stars doing the Olay dance that we can get up on the screen. But so he's now the cabinet secretary, Rick Perry, who's in charge of safeguarding the nukes, right? So there's all this worry about him having the button, right? Pressing the button. Well, it turns out
Well,
that,
Ivanka has come forward and said, don't worry, you can't find the button.
well, but he has a button on his desk in the Oval Office.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody. I'm out of here. Thank you so much.
What did I miss?
It was nothing. So he has a tiny red button on his desk. But he uses it. This red button is to summon a butler on demand, and that butler brings him a Coke.
This is the man of the people, remember?
But why?
Yeah, exactly.
He's thirsty,
Why?
girl.
Oh yeah, he's thirsty.
Okay, but wait, this button is literally just for
Yes.
a Coke?
Yes.
Nothing else.
Nothing else, and that's according to what Trump himself said in an interview with the Financial Times. But he joked that, quote, everybody does get a little nervous when I press the button.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I don't know why you didn't just do George W. Bush style and have a mini fridge installed into the
right.
Resolute desk.
Yeah.
Just-
Right? Why does he not just have them?
I don't know, because he likes being able to have a butler. I mean, he lives in a golden tower in New York.
Okay, but I would ask for more than just a Coke. Like, I wouldn't want a button.
What,
just
actual
for
Coke?
No, like food. Like, I'm hungry, girl.
Yeah, like a burger and fries.
He also,
something, yeah, you want
Tito,
a full
he
meal?
can also order food. Like he is the president. He
Yes.
just has to pick up the phone and give more information.
Okay, but
it's just
like
that this
a
is the
button.
perma Coke button.
Yeah, it's the perma
So
Coke button.
stupid.
I mean, it also sounds awesome, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Better things to be doing.
What if you had a button for Kendall walking in with Pepsi? I would love that.
That would solve everything.
and a multicultural protest
I would
walking
want
right into
that
the Oval
button.
Office.
I always wonder, like, when these stories come out, when he says something like this, what is he trying to hide? Like, what is he covering up that he doesn't want us to talk about? That he would rather have us talking about a button on his desk?
Everything. He always puts out these, when there's an important story that should be reported or is about to be reported in the news, he tweets something inane, and then the news media covers that tweet.
Yeah.
You're
It's a-
so angry.
Well, it's actually strangely brilliant in an odd sort of way. I don't want to talk about
It's
this
sick,
anymore.
but he knows what he's doing.
Endpoints. And well, Steve Bannon knows what he's doing. You know, the real president. Endpoints. Tito, Bop of the Week.
Bob of the Week is Kay Stewart featuring Yoonjun, and it's called
Kristen Stewart?
Hands. No, but it's Kay Stewart, okay?
Okay.
She's amazing. She's from the UK, and it's called
you
Hands.
had me listen to this song.
Yeah, and
the
I
song's
can't-
really good.
I can't stop with, like, it's just,
Yeah.
so good.
I have an endpoint. Just in case you are watching this show, this episode, right after we release it, this coming weekend, May 13th and 14th, actually myself and the associate producer on this show and my partner in TikTok Pictures, which produces this show, we are going to LA because a film that we shot a couple of years ago is making its American debut at something called Out Web Fest, which is Hollywood's only LGBTQ digital shorts festival.
Wow, congratulations.
That's
do you like
amazing.
that?
Congrats.
And what are you wearing
Well
to the red
done.
carpet?
I don't. Tito's going to help me.
Comme
with-
des garçons?
I come to, yes, I'm going to wear. Well, I'm going to go into the dumpster and try to replicate Rihanna's dress.
And please answer your shoe.
Yes.
On the,
Yes. Hello.
Hey, Fred, you know I edited that movie, right?
Oh, that's right. And Doug is the editor on that movie.
Yeah, Doug.
Well, it's like we have this whole little TikTok Pictures family. So if you are in the LA area and are interested in coming to Out Web Fest, please go to outwebfest.com. Our movie called Imp, and you can get more information about it on its Facebook page. I believe it's facebook.com/impfilm.
Or you can stream it on Reverie.
So the film is showing on Saturday, May 13th at the theater, the Independent Downtown Los Angeles Theater, something to that effect. Anyway, Out Web Fest.
Theater.
We're boring Doug. He's looking at his watch. Outwebfest.com. The movie is also available on Reverie, the world's largest LGBTQ streaming service, so you can check out the film Imp on Reverie as well. Of course, we are on Reverie.
Get out of here.
what?
Are we?
Reverie.tv to check out Reverie and the streaming service. Of course, our crowdfunding site is on Patreon, patreon.com/thepointguys. iTunes, check us out there and download the audio version. YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, even if you're not watching us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. Here's the subscribe button, right? Everybody point. I don't know where you'll see the subscribe button, but it's below us somewhere. Subscribe, costs you nothing, helps us greatly. And of course, our website for everything The Point, thepointguys.net. Thanks to Julia Thayer from Toronto Oasis for joining us today, as well as Tegan Reamsbottom from
you.
the Reamsbottom Position.
Yes.
We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point.